Hello and welcome to this lovely, what the fuck is this, Tuesday? Tuesday morning. Let me hide this meeting control because it's ugly, guys. So, excuse me while I move everything around in my entire life for this video. So, good morning. It's freaking Tuesday, August 10th, 7:26 a.m. I've been up since 6 because this new moon energy is still crazy. Um, for me, I believe it's hitting in my like 12th house, first house cusp. So I am being woke up to think about myself. That's pretty much what the fuck is going on here. And in my thinking about myself, it led me to think about how many other people are out there going through this shit and need to understand it a bit more. Because honestly, I'm gonna say it so many times, knowledge is the antidote to fear, and it's actually what's keeping me from losing my shit during this Revelations apocalypse things we have going on. For the record, guys, some people immediately get triggered when they hear me say Revelations or apocalypse because fear, religion, church, all that stuff. If you look up the words, which I'm really going to impress upon you guys, look up what you're saying because the words mean something different than what they taught us they meant. Apocalypse is uncovering. Revelations is revealing. We're learning about all the crappy stuff that's already been going on. Nothing new. It's just the old stuff has to go away for the new stuff to be born, which leads us to this chart of the moment we're going to discuss today. I want to help you guys better understand transits and how they affect you. So I'm going to pull this up two ways because I want to do a video on explaining how our energies intermingle with each other, just so you can understand dealing with people. Because when I wake up in the morning, I need like a while before I'm able to interact with people. And what I was explaining in the video I did earlier was these natal charts are a representation of the energy that we put out to other people and what we take in from the planets, right? When somebody else comes near us, their energy is being pushed out of them. So literally, when you do a synastry, you'll see two charts come together. Your frequencies mesh with each other. So if you've had like a past life connection with somebody, whether it's good or bad, you'll have an immediate reaction. Like if you ever met somebody that you hated off top, that could be that sort of energy. But it's the same thing with love at first sight. Somebody your soul remembers is fond because these frequencies right here, sorry, line up together. You are always interacting and intermingling with people. So that's why it can be overwhelming for people who are sensitive or whose gifts have just come online for them to be around other people or to feel crowded because your frequencies, literally, their radio signal is coming into your radio receiver, causing static if they have static. Sometimes you meet somebody who's amazing and they light up your whole thing and help you understand yourself better. And then other times you have people who are muddy, if you will. Um, when you love yourself properly and you have an overabundance of energy to give when you're completely in your passion all the time, you can spill over. That's why everybody always says you cannot pour from an empty cup, but you can share your positive frequency. This goes left sometimes when you draw vampires. And what a vampire is somebody could be purposeful, could be not purposeful. Is so empty in their heart and lacking in their purpose and what they want to do here that they start draining from other people. And this is not saying that you don't have bad stuff to happen or people who can't get depressed, but this is somebody who literally takes your advice and never uses it. If you have somebody who's always calling you about the same problem or a whole bunch of different problems, or you can't calm them down and you find yourself feeling physically exhausted after trying to explain to them, you were being vamped. Some people don't know their own power. They don't have access to their own power, but they will pull from this grid over here, pull from your frequencies, from the energy you were getting to try to fill themselves. So be aware that you can do that also if you're not taking the steps to work on yourself, but other people can do it too. And that's why protecting your energy, as we see, or your boundaries is so important because it really messes with your chart. So these are transits, these green areas out here. And what happens is each one of these planets is developing your course. Like each thing is working on a chapter. So the North Node, which is the developer, the main developer, like if this was a compass or a pie or a science experiment, this is the developer. This shows what is being worked on right now, and the rest of the planets are working, obeying that. So right now we have the North Node in Gemini. This is you learning about teaching, thinking, speaking, or possibly even going from being a student to a teacher by the end of this transit, which ends in January. But in the past, you were learning about, or the South Node, which is a representation of the past, which you've already done in the past lives. It's in Sagittarius. So anything you've learned from travels, anything from philosophy, anything from religion, just pretty much you're learning new things about what you already thought you knew. And that is going to be the theme. And that is going to vary by which house you have it in. But that is the main point of the chart. Say, for instance, you have Gemini in first. You're learning about yourself, who you are as the teacher, thinker, speaker. Gemini in second, that's you learning about how to attune the skills in order to earn money for yourself. The third house, you just learning how to express yourself amongst other people and work on communication. Family, you are learning and teaching things in the household. Same thing with fifth house, but that's likely for kids, or you learning how to tune up your self-expression. For the sixth house, like we see it in this chart, that's in your day-to-day life. You're supposed to be learning or speaking or teaching or sharing knowledge in some way. Seventh house, you're learning communication in your partnership or in the public eye or something with contracts. The eighth house, you are learning about difficult topics or how to express difficult topics like sex, death, taxes, money, other people's power struggles. Ninth house, you are learning to take your abstract ideas and ground them into reality or anything you've learned outside of where you came from and sort of finding words to share that with other people. 10th house, you're doing what I'm doing now. You're teaching, you're talking, you're thinking, you're sharing it as your career. The 11th house, you are belonging to a tribe of great thinkers, speakers, talkers, intellectuals. Your dreams and your goals and the way that you want to earn money are in that realm also. In the 12th house, you're learning about your evil twin. And that's duality. You have one side that you keep to yourself when nobody is around and one side out in the front. That is what the 12th house is for this energy. So that is the main point that is guiding us all. We are learning in different areas, learning how to communicate, learning how to connect with the goals that are coming up with the North Node in Taurus in January, which is going back to Eden, going back to less technology, more earth, more fresh food, less killing animals, less destroying the ozone layer, all that sort of stuff, as opposed to when the South Node goes in Scorpio, we'll be going over power struggles, issues with money. Like there's going to be a big shift in who has the money, who's using the money. Like I see the small businesses coming. This is that meek shall inherit the earth phase that is currently being worked on. So what I'm going to do now, since I've got to the bottom of explaining how other people's energy affects you, how you can affect other people's energy, how these charts sort of pull you along based upon the transits. Oh, speaking of, there's something else I wanted to hit on the transits. Look at me trying to move on already, right? Being on these videos is so funny, guys. Like, I'm like, somebody is talking to me. Well, I'm talking to somebody, like lots of somebodies. And it always gets me that there are people interested, because I will blow my husband's ear off like all day, every day. Like, hey, baby, I'm going to pull up Beyonce's chart. Do not ask why I have Beyonce's chart. I need to see science in real time. This is astral science. Okay, so transits. I wanted to explain a little bit more how they work. So for the sun, wherever the sun is in your chart, keep in mind when you're going to pull your chart up on astro.com, the way I just did, make your Astro account, come in my Astro, pick your chart. You won't have as many as me. Extended chart selection, put that South Node in there, then click chart. You can change all sorts of options here. There's actually a separate video on this channel for that. So with these transits, you click this at the top. Whatever sun, I'm sorry, whatever house the sun is in the transits, that is what house is highlighted this time of the year, where your focus is going to be, what is lit up. Wherever Mercury is where your mind is going to be. Wherever Mars is, that's where your passion and your drive is going to be. Where the moon is where your emotional currents are going to be, where your feelings are, where you're receiving your energy from your feelings that you're sort of digging through is. With Venus, this is how you're going to be earning money or where you're going to be earning money from at this time. Pluto, what you are transforming, what you are working on, what is being changed or rerouted in your life in regards to your legacy, your finances. Saturn, where you're being restricted, what you're sort of being pressured to hold on to for the sake of your career, just to stick it out. Jupiter, where you are expanding, where you're growing. And Neptune, sort of where your karmic rewards are being spilled out right now. Chiron, where your wound is, where you're healing. Uranus, where a radical change is coming along, where something is lightning fast and revamping for the future. So that's a quick overview of understanding where these transits are hitting in your chart. As we get into this chart of the moment, on this lovely Tuesday morning, I got coffee this time so I can do this properly, guys. So right now, I want you to pull up your chart on your phone or whatever, unless you're looking at us on your phone, that would suck. But right now, we're going through this chart of the moment as seen from New York, New York. You can check, I type chart of the moment on Google and it takes me to mine. You can change the location if you're somewhere else, but generally they'll be about the same. So we currently have Mars, the moon, and Venus in Virgo. And you can always look down here if you can. So there's actually the moon, Mercury. No, that's in Leo. Look at me messing up. Let me go back to my picture. So Mars, passion and drive in Virgo. What does this mean? Look out for your stomach, look out for anxiety, but also use all that anxious energy to get stuff done. You have all this energy to be more practical, to be more organized. Use that. With the moon here, your feelings are tied to what is not done. And that makes a big difference for me. I thought the moon was still in Leo. Oh, bro, that's totally making me be down here at 5 o'clock in the morning getting stuff done. The moon is connected to your waves, the water in you, and it sort of pushes you along that way. Now, Venus is how you earn your money, what you're valuing right now. With it in Virgo, you're going to be doing things to be of service. You're going to be thinking about how do I make the world better? What can I offer everybody else? And when you find that, that's when your income will come while Venus is still in Virgo right now. Now, Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn through October. This means that all the things that you need to do to make your business amazing, it has been put on pause so that you can move shit around to get it in place so that when the cogs start working again, when the machine starts running again in October, you can go through smooth. If you do not put in the work to change your career or make your career something you're happy with now, when October comes, the shit is going to hit the fan, and the winter is a horrible time to deal with shit hitting the fan. Do your work now. And if you're thinking about changing your job and jumping ship or anything, this is the time to start building your business. This is all about jumping out on faith, because these charts are a starting point. You can be living your chart in a low vibration, and it's completely different from if you were living the highest exalted version of your chart. If you ever get a chart reading from me, I'm reading you the exalted version. I can tell you the sad version that ends up sad, but I try not to do that. I want to show you your potential. And I actually did just add doing a fundraiser because I have to move. My landlord decided it's easier to sell his house than let me stay here and rent. So all things moving in favor, because these charts, right? I asked to receive the highest expression of my chart. I'm willing to move with the flow and manifesting. So with that being said, I started doing natal charts again. And in these charts, I do tell you the highest expression of yourself. There are a limited number available. I'll make sure I leave the link below for those of you who are interested in that. So stepping into your chart, when you jump on faith, right, into that energy, timeline shift. Things can move faster for you. Say, for instance, you've been working at a job for 10 years. That is not your job, just something you've been doing to pay the bills. Then you decide, I am tired of this shit. I'm going to start that sewing business I always wanted to. You start sewing. It appears a little slow at first, and suddenly you meet this one client that really loves you and starts paying you all the time, and then they refer to you to your friends, and then boom, you've just stepped out into your dream. And if you had not taken the chance, you would have never known. That is what I am telling you about these charts and your energy. What is meant for you is meant for you. It doesn't matter if you jumped out of it, if you forgot about it because of your rough childhood or anything. You can always jump back into the alignment of what's meant for you. And that is based upon these transits, always working to get you to where you want to go. You just have to decide, do you want to be the low end, the middle end, or the most exalted version of yourself, having the best version of your experience here. Having a 3D experience means you deal with the duality, evil and good. Having a 4D experience means you stay in the good, but you're aware of the evil, so you're right here. Having a 5D experience means you are completely living in your heart space and love, and everything is rainbows and roses because you are staying in your own flow. Like the world could be going to shit around you, but because you're aware of center and the fact that we're immortal beings that go back, 5D is what I'm trying to get everybody to, just a 5D mindset. So these planets are to jump out there, and while this planet is in retrograde, get your career in order. Work with this Gemini energy to learn what you need to in order to make it happen for yourself. If you have a skill that's not attuned and you don't feel like you can charge for it, take a class, then charge for it. Do whatever you need to do to make yourself feel proficient. The Saturn in Aquarius means crimes committed by humans are being judged. Saturn is all about being tested. This is being tested on how you treat other humans, how the collective has been, how we've been to each other. Can you see how we're being graded in that, guys? So Jupiter also, also in Aquarius, it's about expanding through dealing with other people, expanding as a squad of humans. Like all of us is a human race. And I believe this is in regards to our consciousness. We're all growing. So this Neptune in Pisces is giving us back all our spiritual gifts, all our spidey senses and stuff, right? But also any comeuppance from karma. You're starting to get past life memories back. You're starting to have crazy dreams and things. You don't know if you're losing your mind or not, but these are all your lives. It's just now that you're awakened, they're starting to stream back in so you can see the patterns. It's going to be a process. Try to journal your ideas, your dreams, anything that comes to you, even if it doesn't make sense, because one day it will. This is backed up by the fact that Chiron is currently in Aries, guys. Any wounds you have about yourself are coming up so that you can overcome them and help other people get over theirs. Everything here is about learning yourself in pursuit of helping others learn themselves, because everybody is us. We started from one big bubble in the sky, and then that bubble rippled into two, and then like, I can't make three, but like three bubbles, and the bubbles just kept bubbling until those bubbles turned into angels and demons and every other thing that we see here. We are all a part of Source just multiplying, seeing what it can do. Source wants you to win. So you healing yourself heals others. With this Uranus and Taurus, there's going to be, once again, a change in technology, weed, wine, food, fun, sex. Everything is changing, but for a more natural variation, because everything has become so Scorpio, you know what I mean? Like there's a time and a place, but it should not be the predominant energy that everything is about using sex as power. Taurus is about using sex for fun. It's more sensuality than sexual. Within the ninth house, everybody's learning how to learn a little different, taking difficult concepts and grounding them into reality. So with the sun in Leo along with Mercury, right? You are, once again, this is another placement having you learn about self. But Aries energy is you learning about yourself, like just raw warrior, soldier. Who am I as a fighter? What is my story? Leo is more about what do I enjoy for fun? What do I enjoy for freedom? Who am I as a sovereign being? That is what's being asked of you. What do you enjoy? What would you do with your life if you didn't feel like it was run by everything else in the world? So we're being asked a lot of stuff about ourselves in pursuit of lining up in the right position for us to help others. So this video was really heavy on my mind, guys, just making sure y'all understood what was going on, because there's a lot in the world making it seem like good days are nowhere near, right? But individual, if we work on what we're supposed to, these charts are blueprints. Just follow your path and everything will go like it's supposed to. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll make sure to add any information about the readings and stuff below. Thank you.